with anyway, and I can forgive some halitosis. I had to kiss Scarlett Johansson.
Watch Emily Blunt's face right here. She's on a red carpet. Cameras flashing. Her husband leans in and says something just for her. And within hours, thousands of people online will be convinced their marriage is over. They'll slow the clip down. They'll swear they read his lips. They'll swear John Krasinski said one word, divorce. But look at her again. She's laughing. And that laugh is the detail everyone missed. It doesn't mean what they think. It means the exact opposite. And to understand why, you have to go back to the very first thing this man ever said to her. Los Angeles. 2008, a restaurant. Emily's having dinner with a friend when she clocks a guy across the room. Some actor, out with Justin Theroux. Her friend leans over, oh my god, that's my friend John. And before she can react, John's already up. He ditches Theroux, walks straight across the room, and never sits back down. He doesn't touch his food. He doesn't try a smooth line. In her words index, he just stood there and made me laugh. His side of it, he shook her hand, and something just clicked. Just knew, he said later. That guy, the one who abandoned his own dinner to make a stranger giggle, is now one half of the most stable marriage in Hollywood. Married since 2010. 2 daughters. A house in Brooklyn. Still laughing on every carpet they walk. But that night, John was sure of one thing. He'd never actually end up with her. And what he did on their first date almost proved him right. Most guys' first date play it safe. Dinner. A movie. Something easy. John took her to a gun range. His reasoning was almost sad. He was so sure he'd lose a woman like Emily that he decided to crash and burn on purpose. Get it over with fast, so she wouldn't feel bad turning him down later. It backfired completely. They ended up back at his apartment for pizza, and to this day they can't even agree on how the date happened. He swears he chased her for weeks. She swears she asked him out first. Neither one will drop it. But here's the part that makes all of this stranger. Because John had been hiding something from way before they ever met. Years earlier, John had gotten obsessed with one movie, The Devil Wears Prada, Emily's breakout film. He'd watched it 75 times. 75. Before he'd ever spoken a single word to her. And once they were dating, she caught him watching it in his apartment. He was so embarrassed he let her believe he was watching something else entirely rather than admit the truth. He later joked that Emily married her own stalker and never even noticed. So keep that man in your head. One who watched her movie 75 times. Who sabotaged their first date on purpose. Whose whole opening move was making her laugh. Because when the internet decided that man secretly wanted a divorce, the people who actually knew him weren't worried for a single second. Here's what actually happened. The Golden Globes. The couple standing close, arms around each other, smiling for the cameras. John leans in and says something. There's no audio, just their faces. And the internet went to work. People slowed it down frame by frame, reading his lips, and a huge number of them landed on the same chilling guess that he'd said he couldn't wait to divorce her. Screenshots everywhere. Broken heart emojis. Full-blown mourning for a marriage nobody had any real information about, but the theory had one massive hole. It was never confirmed. John never said it. And Emily, in the exact same clip everyone was panicking over, is laughing. Not flinching. Not frozen. Laughing. They said nothing. No statement. No damage control. No tearful clarification. Because when a rumor is that far from your actual life, you don't bother fighting it. And plenty of fans saw through it from the start. They called it out. That's a joke. That's just how they are. But not everyone let it go, and the doubt hung around online for a while. So the couple did what they always do. They just kept showing up. They walked the Golden Globes together in January 2026. Months later, they turned up to an award show and got caught hand in hand in full PDA mode. And it wasn't only her showing up for him. Rewind a bit, and there's a night at the SAG Awards where Emily gave a speech after their A Quiet Place win and brought John to tears right there in his seat. He makes her laugh. She makes him cry, the good kind. Then came the moment that should have buried the rumor for good. At her Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony, Emily stood up, pointed to John, and called him her beautiful husband. She said he'd made her whole life feel like heaven. Days later, he skipped the Met Gala at the last second, and for a beat, the doubters perked up again. But there was no mystery. He was 6 days out from shooting a film. Emily just laughed it off, rolled up with her sister and Stanley Tucci, and joked they looked like a bachelorette party. No panic. No cracks. But to really understand why none of it ever stuck, you have to see what's actually holding these two together. Now line that up with everything you know. A dark, dumb whisper on a red carpet isn't a warning sign for these two. It's their entire relationship. He says something ridiculous. She cracks up, And this time, a few thousand strangers turned an inside joke into a divorce. And the couple's response to all of it that told you even more. Emily's heading back into that world with The Devil Wears Prada 2, this time acting opposite her real-life brother, in-law Stanley Tucci. John's got his own slate rolling, from Jack Ryan to a brand new film. And their daughters are growing up fast. 12 and 9 now, they'll keep doing exactly what they've always done, showing up for each other, making each other laugh. Which means the next time they hit a red carpet, somebody's going to zoom in again, slow down another clip, and almost certainly misread another joke. Just remember what you know now. When John Krasinski leans over to whisper something to Emily Blunt, she isn't bracing for bad news. She's about to laugh. If this is your kind of story, the real truth behind the rumor everyone got wrong, go watch our breakdown on the Hollywood couples fans swore would never last, and the one detail that actually keeps them together. Perfect next watch. And if you want more of these every week, hit subscribe. We dig past the headlines, so you get the real story, not the panic.